everyone, this is Harsh Shinde. Currently, I am pursuing my master's degree in Information Systems at Northeastern University. I am also a 2017 pass out from BE CMPN branch of Atharva College of Engineering. I am here to present about a general insight on the life cycle of an MS in US applicant. Now, as some or most of you must have planned for pursuing an MS in US course, I hope you will gain some pointers on how to move forward with the journey. So let's get started. As I said, and looking at the agenda, I'll talk about the typical life cycle of an MS in US applicant and the step-by-step description of how to basically go about it. Please note that this is just a general overview of the process and I won't be getting into a specific domain-based application. These slides will just give you a general idea after which you can, research and dig into the stuff of your preference. So before you think into how to go about it, you should first take some time to think about what you want to pursue for most probably the rest of your career. While doing an MS and being here is a crucial part of your life, you have various sorts of things to handle, if not everything to handle by yourself. So you should sit back and carefully plan your career path according to your needs. Once you have a clearer view of what you are going to do, you can research the options available on the internet. And trust me, if you have a niche course on your mind, you will get many options to choose from. US provides a nice specificity of coursework which you can apply for, like myself. I have applied for Information Systems course, which is a bit specific into data analytics and data science. So basically you can also do the same. One thing to keep in mind is to apply as early as possible to fetch some financial aid if your university shall provide it. There are early application deadlines posted on the university's admission portals, so do keep a check on it and submit the applications beforehand. Well, one of the most frequently asked questions is whether to have some work experience before applying for MS. Well, to be honest, I'll say it always is a better option to have work experience than to apply as a fresher. You'll have better chances of getting an admit, even a full-time or an internship. But like me, coming here as a fresher will give you a lot of flexibility on how to actually accustom yourself with the way of study here. Also, as a fresher, you would be driving through a steep learning curve, and after adapting that, you will be ready to go out and face the industry. Well, one example that I can give you is of myself. In the first semester, I was not accustomed to the way of study over here, and they have all the weekly assignments which was due next week, so I had to put all nighters to study hard and get my assignments completed. So it was a good experience for me and I learned a lot from that. So moving on. Now this is the important part of this session. This is the ideal timeline to follow for a sound process of the whole journey. Well, delays in this timeline are okay as long as you meet the specific deadlines of your university. Well, one point to note here is that the WES is not required for the most of the universities, and personally I think it is not recommended as we have to pay hefty fees to get that process done. And I've also posted a link of Quora which you can see. It contains the specific timeline for MS in US fall applicant, so you can check on the link. Now when you apply, which by the way for fall, this time like January might be a good time to do be careful with getting all the required and additional documents done. Also, I want to emphasize mostly on this point, please do not plagiarize. Fill up on the information that is yours and nobody else's. United States have a strict plagiarism policy, and any violation of that would basically lead to getting your application withdrawn, and the consequences are severe. You can do more research about plagiarism after this slides gets over. Now, by the time you wait and receive admits, most of the legwork is done. The next step, but a very important one, is to issue your I-20. Now, an I-20 is by far the most important document as long as you are studying in the US. So keep it safe like your passport. After getting admits, you can start working on making a solvency certificate, which banks generally provide after the necessary proof of your admits. You may start beforehand if the bank allows it, but generally that might not be the case. You can then start booking your visa interview dates, and you have to do it as soon as possible as these slots get booked quite rapidly. And yes, be prepared with everything you need and get at least 3 copies of it. That's a very important thing to do because you need it for reference later on when you reach over the United States, and yeah, that's that of it. Now comes the most important part, the visa interview. As far as I know, it is meant to be a tensed time before you go to the consulate and present yourself to the visa officer. But let me guarantee you that this is not the most important part of your journey. If you have genuinely done everything properly, then you can have absolutely no fear of talking with the visa officer. Just be prepared to answer the following types of questions. Well, basically about your university and your coursework, its faculty. Visa officers generally tend to know what university are you going through. Basically, visa officer, what it does is he checks orally that if the information that you have provided is valid or not. So also another question is about your parents' profession. What does your father do, what does your mother do, and based on that, if he thinks he should further ask you about your loan process, or is your fund fully sponsored by your parents or not, they can ask you such type of questions. And the most important question they can ask is about your plans after your MS is completed. So here, it's not a trick question. Basically, you can say whatever you want, but most preferable answer is that you will come back to your country and work over India, and get the necessary knowledge from the United States and imply it imply it back to your country. So make sure you give brief and up to point answers, and don't keep on going if you feel like so. And last but not the least, be cool during the whole process. The visa officer wants you to study in the US anyhow, because you are contributing to the funds of United States. Only don't say anything unnecessary and don't give him a reason to doubt you. And if you give the interview confidently, you will be totally fine. Now, after getting your visa, and I understand how happy you feel when you get your visa, because I went through that, and it was the most joyous occasion of my life. Well, for that side, do keep a lookout for the apartments and roommates, as they also get booked quite quickly, as people get over the visa interviews and start looking for accommodation and roommates and stuff. So here social media really helps. You can create WhatsApp groups, you can post it on Facebook that you are available for any accommodation, and you could get through the process by that. And yes, do study the things which you are going to learn beforehand. This will help you a lot, and you won't feel much of a burden when you do study over here. And book your tickets. Well, you can book your tickets before the visa interview too. You can get a reasonable amount of refund, but I'll suggest you to book your travel tickets after the visa interview gets over. And one of the most important point is to get an health insurance. That would make your budget quite manageable, because if at all you get injured in the United States, the health system is quite expensive, and you may have to pay a hefty amount of fees if you don't have any health insurance. So insurance is a must. And again, keep everything handy after your visa interview, and be ready to go.